Hey everybody, welcome to Top Rack Facts. Today, we're going to go over 10 unbelievable facts about spies. Make sure to watch until number 1, because it's one of the most amazing facts about international spies I've ever come across. Let's get right into it, shall we? Number 10. Humans aren't the only ones cut out for spy work. Well, hello animal kingdom. Apparently, history has shown that spies over time haven't just been human beings. Animal spies have been trained for a variety of roles dependent on both the capabilities of their species and the intelligence needs of the country. Especially during the World War, it was a common act to use animals as spies to get information. In the 1960s, the CIA spent $20 million on a project called Acoustic Kitty, where a microphone and radio transmitter was implanted into a cat. The project was abandoned after the first cat got hit by a taxi almost immediately after it was released for its first mission. Cats weren't the only animal spies. Back in World War II, automatic cameras were attached to homing pigeons to conduct aerial surveillance of German positions. An outfit called Animal Behavior Enterprises, or otherwise known as ABE, worked with the CIA and Army during the Cold War, employing animals, including ravens and cats, to retrieve documents and serve as living listening devices. Number 9. If they want you as one of them, you may not have a choice. A lot of countries, especially those with authoritarian regimes, can have very heavy-handed methods of persuading their citizens to become spies. Some spies from North Korea have claimed that after classes, someone would wait for them outside and tell them that they had been chosen to become spies. In some countries, some of the people who had been chosen to become spies were given no option of declining. Some agencies in some countries even go as far as getting their potential spies fired from their places of work just so they have no other option. In 2002, the Russian Security Service accused the US of using drugged drinks and cookies to try to recruit a Russian defense worker who visited the US Embassy in an ex-Soviet republic. So you see, this spy life isn't as glamorous as it was portrayed in James Bond movies. Number 8. Suicide may be part of the job description. Capture can be a very bad situation for both the spy and the government he or she represents. The spy faces the very real possibility of torture to gain intelligence details and the names of other operatives, and perhaps execution. Asides the fallout a spy's government faces from the loss of any sensitive information its agent gives up, the existence and use of suicide pills by some spies suggests that some of them view death as the more preferable option compared to getting captured. Some spies have been known to take cyanide in the face of capture or a failed mission. Asides having to die by suicide, some spies have been forced to kill their co-spies in awry situations. And even if they make it out of their spying career alive, remnants of their professional lives follow them into retirement, and a lot of times lead to their unnatural deaths. Many have been known to die from questionable accidents and even radiation poisoning. It's a crazy life. Number 7. Spying can be a second language. In some countries, it is a popular practice to abduct citizens of other countries to teach students of their spy schools their languages and some of their country's spy signals. For example, in North Korea, their government has abducted Japanese, Malaysian, Chinese, Italian, and French citizens and forced them to teach their respective languages and cultures at North Korean spy schools. I mean, haven't they heard of Duolingo? Number 6. Spy kids are real. It's very important that a spy blends into his or her environment effortlessly, and sometimes adults aren't the best at blending in. On some occasions, governments and insurgent groups around the world have relied on child spies to get the information that adults cannot reach. Now, using children as spies is pretty bleak and a complex situation. Recruiting and using children under 15 to support armed forces and groups in any capacity is against international law. Children from 15 to 18 are only allowed to serve voluntarily. But in some cases, as in North Korean gulags or under the East German Stasi intelligence agency, children are encouraged to report to the government on friends and family members' actions and ideologies. Sometimes, the Taliban in Afghanistan have in some cases used small children as spies and even suicide bombers. Number 5. Seduction is a spy tool. In spy history, it is no new thing that spies are willing to get down and dirty to extract information from government officials. There are numerous examples of spies using their feminine and masculine wiles to dupe targets, create blackmail material, and get information from the enemy. One of the most well-known spies to have employed seduction is Margaretha Zell MacLeod, popularly known as Mata Hari. She passed French secrets, or fake French secrets, to the Germans. She retained her sexuality to the moment of her death, reportedly forsaking a blindfold and blowing a kiss to the firing squad that executed her. Another spy to make use of seduction is a Ghanaian agent named Michael Agbatui, who seduced a CIA clerk, Sharon Scranage. He used this to acquire a list of all CIA employees in Ghana. This security breach is believed to have led to at least one dead CIA informant. Another person is famous children's author Roald Dahl, who is reportedly a James Bond Ian super spy who slept with countless high society women while living in the US, gathering intelligence for the British. The power of sex and seduction. Number 4. Spies can be other things too. I bet you didn't know this. Popular author Ernest Hemingway was a failed KGB spy recruited in 1940. His codename was Argo. He was apparently willing to help, but wasn't particularly useful. Aside authors being spies, some celebrities were once spies before laying down the spy life for the glamorous life. Star chef Julia Child worked as a typist, then research analyst for the U.S. Office of Strategic Services, otherwise known as the OSS, the U.S. intelligence agency during World War II. She earned the emblem of Meritorious Civilian Service for her work. Another one is the famous U.S. Supreme Court Justice Arthur Goldberg, who also served in the OSS, where his work involved organizing European labor unions and dissident groups to resist the Nazis. Famed jazz performer Josephine Baker was also a spy who reported on the identities of French Nazi supporters, conversations she overheard from German officers in her audiences, and even smuggled secret documents written in invisible ink on her music sheets. Number 3. Spy from a tree. You spy with your little eye? But how about spying from a tree? In 1917, Germans built a 25-foot tall armor-plated fake tree and stationed a soldier in it for months to spy on Allied artillery positions. To sneak the tree in place, the Germans had to cut down and replace a real tree while artillery was firing, so Allied forces wouldn't hear the axes. Even after taking the German position, Allied soldiers didn't notice it wasn't a real tree for 7 months. Number 2. A dog made it to sergeant. Dogs are a lot of things to humans, from pets, friends, and even family. But guess what? They can also be spies. Sergeant Stubby, a Bull Terrier mix, was the only American war dog to be promoted to sergeant through combat in World War I. He saved his regiment from surprise mustard gas attacks, found and comforted the wounded, and even once caught a German spy by the seat of his pants, holding him there until American soldiers found him. He got promoted to sergeant for single-handedly catching a German spy who was mapping out Allied trenches. His promotion meant he outranked his owner, who was just a lowly corporal. The dog said, "I'm the commander now, Corporal." Last but not least, number 1. Spies leave their family in the dark. We can understand why spies can't reveal their identities and jobs to members of the public, but hiding it from their families too? Apparently they do. Spies' own family members, including parents and children, may have no idea about what their loved ones actually do for a living. Ex-CIA agents have been known to lie to parents and partners about their jobs. One ex-CIA agent lied to his partner and family that he was a low-level salesman to cover his 8 years of undercover work in Afghanistan. Another popular case, which eventually became a TV series, is the story of the Foley brothers. In 2010, 20-year-old Tim Foley and his 16-year-old brother Alex discovered, after their family home in Cambridge were raided by the FBI, that their parents were part of a Russian spy operation. They originally thought that their parents had been born outside the US and were Canadians. They were shocked to discover that the parents they knew as Donald Heathfield and Tracy Foley were actually Russian nationals whose real names were Andrei Bezrukov and Alina Vavilova. What a crazy, heartbreaking discovery for those kids. And there you have it, 10 unbelievable facts about spies. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up down below. Also comment if there's anything we missed out on spies. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more videos of unbelievable facts and much more. Check out this playlist of my top videos on animals, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.